Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm Danny Barnts with the CCAA, and joining me today, we have head coach of the San Francisco State men's basketball team, Vince Inglima. Coach, just thank you very much for stopping by and just giving a little insight into your team.
Yeah, thanks. Happy to be here.
Fantastic. Well, we can jump right into this one. As I mentioned, we're a little ways into the season right now. You got the San Francisco State is 4-2 on the season, have yet to play its first CCAA conference game. But Coach, could you just take me through a little bit over these first 6 games, what you've learned from your team?
Yeah, I think this is a really important preseason for us. We're incorporating a lot of new players. It's a combination of a couple established guys, but we need some of these new transfers and young guys to step up and be ready. And so I think it was really valuable for us just to get that time. And I thought we made the most of it. We played a lot of different types of teams, which is always important as you kind of prepare for conference. And in the end, I felt like all of our preseason games were winnable. We ended up 4-2, which is, not, what we'd maybe hoped for, but I think it's good in that, we really developed and we learned about ourselves and our strengths and weaknesses individually and as a group. And so hopefully we can take those lessons into conference play.
Fantastic. It seems like some of the strengths you have out there right now are the scoring of your team. You guys are averaging about 77 points a game. That's 4th in the CCAA at this point. And you guys have 5 players averaging over 9 points per game. Could you just tell me how you guys are doing that and what you guys are doing offensively?
Yeah, I think we really struggled to score the ball last year, and a lot of that was our inexperience. And so we tried to address that this year in some of our recruiting, but also just kind of having some of the guys back and a little bit more comfortable in our system. We're playing with some pretty good pace offensively. And the biggest thing for us is generating quality shots and high percentage looks. And that's kind of playing together and getting paint touches and inside out. And that's something that as the season has progressed, we've just continued to get better and better at. And then the other side of it is we have a lot more guys who can put the ball in the basket on a given day, and Toby obviously leads the charge for us, a returning all conference player, and he's a stud. But the biggest thing, I think the value that he's added to his game this year is being able to get other people involved, especially early in the game, and being able to read when a guy's getting hot to keep going to that hot hand. And so that's been a thing that's really helped us. And we've had, a different leading scorer in 4 of our 6 games had a different person leading the way. And so I think that kind of that gives us some balance on the offensive end and makes it a little bit more difficult to guard because you never quite know who's going to be stepping up on whichever day it is.
Great insight. Thank you. Another one I got to ask for a point of emphasis. I see you guys are right now 3rd in the conference in rebounding. You guys are +5 on the rebounding margin. Has that been a point of emphasis for your team in the early season, or has that just been the way it's worked out?
No, absolutely. That's something we were pretty good at last year. I think we have the length and athleticism to be good at that. And our 2 big things that we've been emphasizing this year: rebounding the ball and taking care of the ball and not turning the ball over. So the rebounding side's been going pretty good. We've been competing on that end defensively. We're blocking out. Our guards are doing a great job of pinching down and pursuing long rebounds and cleaning it up. The turnover thing is a bit of a different story. We've been throwing the ball all over the gym. That being said, we've had stretches, and even in our last game against Fresno Pacific yesterday, we had 1 turnover in the first half and finished with 9 turnovers in the game. And so we're capable of taking care of it. And so that's kind of the next stage for us in our progression is we got to continue rebounding, but we got to also take care of the ball and kind of win that possession game because we have enough pieces offensively that if we getting shots and we're generating good looks, that we'll score enough points. It's just a matter of getting ourselves enough possessions to do it.
So obviously those are numbers I can pull right out of a box score. I can look at the stats for the year of the points per game and the rebounding margin. Those are 2 easy strengths you can put down on paper. But if I were asking you as a coach, what are something that doesn't show up in the box score that you would say is one of the strengths of your team?
I think really we have a tremendous potential to be a really dangerous defensive team. We have some length, we have athleticism, we can move our feet, we can be very disruptive, and we have shown that at times, but it's a little bit of the maturity of the group is not there to be consistent with that yet. And I think as the year progresses, we have a couple new guys coming in and learning the system and learning how to defend how we want. And I think we have a chance to be a really impressive defensive unit. We can put 6-7 guys out there at any given time. Well, hopefully we're not putting, well, if we could put 7 out there at once, that'd be great. But we have a lot of guys that can really guard the ball, be disruptive, and kind of create turnovers.
So you maybe touched on this, and this might be even making you repeat an answer a little bit, but let's say in mid-February, somebody from the GNAC is scouting your team. What would you want the identity of your team to be when that person gets done watching film that you're like, here's what San Francisco State is? What do you want the identity of your team to be?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think we definitely want to be looked at as a team that plays harder than their opponents. And we are going to be scrappy. We're going to be on loose balls. We're going to defend. We're going to rebound. And we're going to push the pace, and we're going to throw the ball ahead, and we're going to look to take advantage of those transition opportunities. And hopefully, we're also a team that shoots the ball well. We've had some games where we've really done that well, and other games that we haven't. But that's something that really comes down to, we have the guys who can make the shots. It's the matter of taking care of the ball and generating those quality looks and getting in the paint and finding those open shooters on the kickouts.
Fantastic. So obviously you guys haven't played your first CCAA conference game this year, but as you guys enter into the conference season, what do you guys hope to accomplish this year in CCAA play?
Well, I mean, I think every year you go in trying to win it. That's why we're in the business, and that's what we're doing. We were picked 11th in the league in the preseason poll, and I mean, I think we have a lot of pride in what we do here. We've never finished that low before. We don't plan on doing that this year. And I think that's a motivating factor for some of us, especially, one of the few teams returning an all-conference player. And so we have a pretty high bar for ourselves. But the big thing for us is just, you got to continue to get better. Wherever you are on December 1st in your first conference game, if you're at that same point in February, that's not going to be good enough. And so really continuing to improve as we go, and to be playing our best basketball in March. And I think our best game is good enough to compete at the top of the league. We just have to be able to develop that consistency to play that best game more often. And this Thursday is going to be a great test. We're playing San Bernardino, one of the best teams in the league, if not the nation. And so it's a great opportunity for us to, kind of see that's the top of the mountain, and we can test ourselves against that right away. It doesn't get much easier when you got Pomona coming the next day and then going to San Marcos. And so it's a fantastic opportunity to see where we're at. And then, win or lose, we can come from that. And now we know where we need to get as the rest of the season progresses.
Well, you took my next question right out of my mouth. Thank you very much. We always like to lead into what else you got. As you mentioned, some very tough games for San Francisco State right out of the gate, but those ones are going to be on the schedule at one point or another. So you're going to have to face them sometime or another. Yeah,
I mean, we've played San Bernardino well historically, and we're but obviously they're very good, and we're gonna have to be good. But that's the case with every CCAA game. There's no buys in this conference. Been involved in this league for 15 years, and that's just how it is. And we have a lot of great coaches, a lot of great athletes and players, and so you just have to be able to bring it every night. And on different days, different guys are going to have to step up and be ready. And that's something that's been nice to see in our group. But we have a couple guys that have been hurt, and hopefully we're going to be adding into the mix here in the next 2 to 4 weeks, and we can really find some rhythm and some cohesiveness in our unit.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you just very much, Coach, for just stopping by and letting us get a little insight into the Gators basketball program. And good luck the rest of the season. And hopefully we have a chance to talk even more before the CCAA conference tournament in March.
That's the plan. Thanks, Danny.
Thank you, Coach.